Hey guys, thanks for following along. And real quick, I just want to share the short video that we just made. It shows some of the stories from actual private practice owners that we've had the pleasure of working with over the last couple years. I hope you enjoy it.
Before we signed up for Breakthrough, I just had the one clinic at that time and had been watching a steady decline in our referral sources. Were being bought up by hospital practices, and at first I pretty much had ignored the problem and just said, oh, we're just having a bad week. Well, weeks turned into a month, and then a month turned into several months, and it was like, okay, I got to do something.
Before BPTM, the biggest thing that I did for marketing was the traditional going out to a physician's office and having lunch with them, maybe meeting with the physician, maybe not, maybe get 2 minutes, maybe get 10 minutes, and kind of begging for referrals.
The biggest challenge that I have historically had, and I think if you asked any practice owner what their biggest challenge is, where are my new patients going to come from next week?
I think that the feeling when the practice is struggling and you're having difficulty meeting payroll, you feel like you're a failure. It's really difficult to wait for that mail and wait for the reimbursement to come in to make sure that there's enough money in the account to make payroll. I mean, it's depressing, but it creates a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress, and you're always wondering, uh-oh, do I have enough to make ends meet?
Probably the lowest part was right before I started working with Chad. We had to lay somebody off. And it wasn't just laying somebody off, it was laying off a mother of 4 that was the sole breadwinner for her family. It's at that point where it's a lot of like failure, right? So it's a lot of, geez, you'd think by 10 years of doing this, I'd have it figured out by now, but I don't. And that was tough. And I would see other private practice doing well. I'm like, they must be lucky. Their uncle must be a doctor, and they send them patients. Or they must be in an area where hospitals don't dominate everything. And it's not about that. It's about doing the right things to bring new patients in that fixes those problems.
The old-fashioned physician, marketing wasn't working anymore, and I needed to learn how to reach out to the public.
These are the changes that we've seen a drop in our business. So I realized that we needed to get some help with marketing. And so I saw Chad's information, and it takes a while before your brain really understands what it is that he's doing, and then you have a confidence level that this is material that's really going to help our business go from where it is today to where it could be in the future.
After Chad kind of showed me what to do, we sent out a newsletter to our past patient list of about 5,000. It cost us somewhere around $2,000 or $2,500 to send out a really nice, 6-page color newsletter. And in there was a promotion, and it was for our free screen day, which Chad calls his greatest promotion ever. And for that outlay in cash, we got back 35 new patients into our practice as a result of that. And when you do the math, it turns out to be for one day and that single promotion, it was over $45,000 of revenue into my practice I would have not have gotten if I didn't do that promotion.
The greatest promotion ever for us in March of this year brought in, I believe we had about 31 patients that we saw in one day. Of those 31 patients, almost half converted into initial evals and plan of cares. It was an immediate bump financially in the practice, and from the first quarter to the second quarter was a huge jump for us financially.
Well, a lot of the different strategy, let's say email marketing. Great success with email marketing. We put one email out, single question email, which took me about 5 minutes to do. We ended up with 15 new patients out of it. It was phenomenal. Took hardly any time, any effort. It was great.
We've really just scraped, I think, the surface of what we can do all this. So we really have high expectations and lofty goals I think are going to be achieved.
I had a center manager who's a physical therapist come up to me just last week, and she said if it wasn't for that workshop that we did, we would have probably only had 2 referrals this week. Of an average one, we're getting anywhere from 15 to 20 people, and we're getting anywhere from 7 to 11 new patient visits out of it.
Before, probably running through the summer, we were averaging 40 to maybe 45 new patients. And now at October, we hit 55 new patients. So that's potentially an extra $10,000 to $12,000 to the bottom line with, at this point, really no added expense besides maybe a little bit in the marketing.
When we first started, our basis was 90% physician referrals. Since incorporating all the various skills and techniques that we learned through Breakthrough, we're down to under 50% reliance on physician referrals, and all the other new referrals are coming from a lot of the things we incorporated through BPTM.
I think one of the most powerful things that, a realization that I've come to through working with Chad, is that I can scale this to whatever I want to scale it to. I don't think I would be opening 2 more clinics in the next couple months if I didn't have a good grasp on how to get new patients in the door.
Breakthrough has given me a clearer vision and a clear strategy on how I can continue to slowly decrease my time treating patients while being at the clinic now, but being there to work more on the business, whether it's marketing or the metrics, the performance of the clinic, that type of thing.
Well, I'm a father of 4 children, and just being able to step back and work on the business instead of always being the primary age caregiver will allow me to coach soccer, coach the football team, make every dance competition, because that's what's ultimately, what are we working for? We're not working to work, we're working to live, and my family is my life. And the more I have to be there in the trenches 50, 60, 70 hours a week, the less time I get to spend on what's really important. So it's important to me right now to hit this hard so I can get to where I can do what's really important.
I would say it's practice changing. It really is. It's more of a business system. It's a way of looking at your clinic as a business and running it as a business. And you got to use the numbers and be objective, like we do with our patients. You have to be objective with the numbers. And so it's given me some more freedom. It's given me information I didn't have before. It's given me education I didn't have before. We didn't learn this stuff in PT school. And so it's given me a lot of freedom, and I just look forward to the future, to continue to grow the practice and have personal time with the family and have the staff enjoy it as well.
It's a complete package, and I wish we did this in the first place.
Right, we've been in business 18 years, and this most likely will be our best year in 18 years, so I think that speaks for itself.
15% I thought would be awesome, 20% amazing. So to be able to sit here now and say that we're up 34%, I'm really hoping to get into the 40s by the actual end of the year. And from the time that I started the Greatest Promotion Ever campaign in March, I think that I have a really good opportunity to actually hit that 50%. And that was my big, hairy, audacious goal, was to have 50% within a year. And people can't even believe that. For a clinic that's been in operation successfully for 25 years, to get to the point of possibly having a 50% increase in 1 year is really amazing.
As a small business owner, I think you're always on the fence when it comes to spending money, especially with marketing, and we've done expensive, costly marketing, and it's always a big leap to do that, and a scary leap. This has been less costly and far more effective, and again, it's PT based, done by PT, so it pertains, everything pertains 100% to what we need to do as compared to the other ones. So it's a no-brainer for us. I think you really need to do this as a PT practice owner.
It's really just the way to secure your own business. Are you going to be able to take care of yourself, or are you going to hope that someone else is going to take care of you?
Just jump in and do it. The money you're going to spend, you're going to get in return faster than you thought, and you're going to have strategies that are going to take you beyond that.
Thanks for watching. I hope you found these owner stories inspiring. If you want to join them and have your best year ever, then click on the button below, fill out the short form. And I look forward to hearing from you, and thanks again for watching.